Good afternoon. There's been something I've been doing lately. I'm gonna keep on doing it for now, at least. I've been doing something that I call a rolling start. Before I come up with an idea that would could talk about for 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Now I just come up with an idea that's about a few minutes long, and then I gotta just roll on and see how it goes. So the idea I got here is that you know what, and I really think about it, and I think that being in this position right now is a good thing. It's a good thing. It has a positive side, a negative side. The pos Look, the main idea here is that should I have, let's say, at a very an early age, that like I thought, I would have become very successful, right? I would have had a lot of money and everything. Now, what would I be doing really? If I got money right away, without growing, without changing, without doing anything different, if I just got money, if I found money, basically, right? What would I be doing? I'd be sitting there doing nothing, calling people over who I don't like to hang out with me and do activities that are extremely basic or activities that they want to do, which I don't like. So what would really have been the point of that success anyways? I've seen success hit people and they are utterly not quite content with their lives. They don't like the people in their lives. They don't like the way their lives are going. They don't feel good about anything. And they just spend a shitwad of money on anything that'll make them feel better. It can make you feel a little bit better to have, but definitely listen. Having money will make you feel better. It'll make you listen. It'll make you feel better than a situation where you have less money. Because having, even if you're doing the same thing, when you got the less money, obviously you're not gonna feel as good when you have the more money. But that's not really when you have more money. That's not the idea I'm getting at is to know who you are, to figure out who you are. And I'll tell you, actually figuring out my history, figuring out who I am, figuring out where I came from, what I'm made of, what I really am. I mean, that was rewarding, right? Consciously, my mind was thankful. Consciously, my mind was happy, and that I found out all these things about myself. But really, my self-awareness and my self-being wasn't any happier at all. You could have given me all the money in the world, given me all the assurances, and you could have, and I could have figured out exactly who I am, all my history and everything, but I still wouldn't have been happier. Sometimes having things tangible right in front of you and consciously knowing all these things and having all these assurances, sometimes it means zilch. Doesn't mean anything. What really means something is that, and I feel it now, is like, and this is what I've been searching for since I was very young. Okay, because I lost it when I was a kid. Somewhere along the line, I lost it. And as I grew older, I grew further away, but I kept searching. I wanted to be zero and I wanted to be around zero because I wanted to find myself. I wanted to search and find out what I was. Now, it's one thing, okay, well, I know on the top of my head what I am. No, that's not enough. You know what I mean? Well, it's not about that's not enough. That's not even what it's about. To actually see, hear, and feel yourself in this world, knowing who you are, being who you are, thinking how you are, and every day moving forward to discover. Well, I'm at the point. Look, it's been about 3.5 months. I'm at the point where I would say that one day is not really much of a difference at all. One day doesn't really do much at all. I can only grow so much in a day. It's actually quite a small amount. But when you look at it in a longer term, it means more. If I look 1 month down the road, 3 months down the road, forget just getting accolades and things. I have that now. I got the 1%. I got the monetary value. I've got some connections, and I've got that stuff going on. I got squads that I put in, like whether it's I label them all in different ways, but there's all different kinds of squads, right? But the thing is that other than that, it's really just embodying myself. That's what life is about. I've never experienced life like that in these 31 years. I've never experienced life I've been close at times, and that's way after the bank robbery. That I've been close to myself. That I've been close to getting to myself, but I haven't embodied, like, that's not life. I was never living. I was a living dead basically. Because if you're zero, right? If you're starting from level zero, you're at level one, and you're in the shadow world. Oh man, that's not living at all. That is like just that's being a living dead. I mean that would, if I was to think of a definition, a word to define it, it would be living dead, just like a zombie. I was exactly a zombie. I used to say it all the time, I'm a goddamn zombie. You know what I mean? I'm living like this, and I'm not living at all. And at this point, I'm starting to embody myself. I'm starting to just naturally. I don't have to think about it consciously. Well, this is what I am. That's what I am. This is what I have to do. You know what? I'm not thinking like that anymore. I'm just letting myself be myself, letting myself grow, letting myself learn, putting in any kind of work, not being lazy. Well, I don't need to be lazy. About putting in work, whatever it is. But any kind of work, even reading goes a long way. By the way, that's a good tip for you right there. Reading goes a long way. But that's what it's all about. I mean, feeling everything is the best. I could, even if I consciously knew I was, even if I was super smart, how am I supposed to gauge who I will be later? I can't know that. That's not the nature of the planet. That's not the way the planet moves. But to know one thing for sure is that to know that there's just growth. You know what I mean? Even if I was just sitting here all day, literally, I would grow more than 3 to 6 months of what I was doing before. 3 to 6 months of working, being outside all the time, being active all the time, doing all different kinds of activities and all this stuff, and even traveling and stuff. I mean, everything I gained in that 3 to 6 months, in that 5, 6 months or whatever it was, I could gain in like sitting and doing nothing. I could gain it in like 3 or 4 days. Okay. That's how big of a deal it is. But at the same time, dude, it's been over 3 months. It's been 3.5 months, right? That I've been living like this. And the truth is that after 3.5 months, and after, really accelerating myself, I mean, I was nonstop. Okay. I was nonstop, no breaks, no nothing. Even just to get to that point, like the month and a half or 2 months prior to that, I was just going off. Like I would not stop working no matter what it was. I was constantly, no breaks, no nothing. And then I got to that point, and then it was like, okay, I'm at this point, it feels I gotta put in as much as I can. And then at some point I put up videos, right? I started getting a bit relaxed, right? And at this point, after that much time, 3 days is nothing. 5 or 6 days is nothing. 2 or 3 weeks is nothing. I'd say a month to 1 to 3 months is probably where, I'll actually feel a difference. You know what I mean? For the first time, I've gotten out of that basic cycle. I'm not in a basic life anymore. I've gotten out of the basic cycle. I've gotten out of level 1. I finally achieved to the point that I'm at a higher level, that I'm at a more complex level. So being at that basic level 31 years, now I'm not there. After 31 years of being stuck in that basic level and level 1, I'm many levels ahead, and I'm in the next level cycle, which I've never been in. Like football, I'd say maybe a few level cycles ahead because of the actually how I spent those initial months. I would say I'm a few cycles ahead. Okay, from the basic level cycle, level 1, I would say I'm many levels ahead. From the basic level that I've been stuck at for 31 years, I would say that I'm quite a few levels ahead. But this is a bigger level 1 to level 2 is a small jump. If you're a smart person, you will just fly through it. But being at that basic level, that basic mentality, that basic personality, and stuck there, I would say I'm not just at the next cycle. I'm probably a few cycles after that, which is a big deal. I'm gonna wrap this up. I can do this in 10 minutes. So there's nothing else to say. Embodying it, living actual life. You see, you can't live for other people. That's not living. If you're living for other people while not living, you can live for other people while living for yourself. But you gotta live for yourself, in order to live for others. In order to provide any service or live for others, or forget service. In order, that's some bullshit that I read. In order to live in a way where you're living with others, we should say, is that you have to live for yourself first. Because then you might just be living for other people. This guy, that guy, that guy. You're just living for other people. and doing that, and you know what? They don't accept any of it. It doesn't mean anything to them. What does it mean to them? You're not bringing yourself in. So what are they getting out of it? They're not getting anything. All right? Do I have to clarify that? Maybe. Well, you live for yourself. You embody yourself, and that's when you live for yourself. When you do for yourself. And if you're not a piece of shit, and if you're a little bit high caliber, living for yourself is a very beneficial thing, and it'll help you more than living for somebody else, or through somebody else, or living like somebody else, or whatever the case is. I'm done. Good afternoon again. And remember that there's a bright smile to make every next day, and don't let people take that smile away. And if you have to, just draw a smile on them. They might be happy. Put some lipstick on their face, on their lips. Put some lipstick, like that, and maybe they'll feel better. Just try that first before you sock them.